Well, as you know, I am Sue McKay. What some of you may not know is I am a native Bangorian, and I am inviting you to sit back and enjoy this journey through a tragic day in Bangor's history, and in our history in particular. The day started as a typical Sunday on April 30th, 1911. This picture shows the Universalist Church prior to the fire. 2 weeks before the fire, the congregants had enjoyed their first Easter service with their newly installed minister, Dr. Ashley Smith. In March, Dr. Smith had relocated from Belfast, having served that congregation for 13 years. His new home was on French Street, within walking distance of the church. Before we switch slides, if you could just go back for a second, Lori, I'm ad-libbing here. Could you go back one slide? Maybe not? Okay. Did you notice there were 2 spires up there? Okay, that's what I wanted you to see. To make it easier to identify the landmarks, you'll see yellow arrows on some of these slides. The next few scenes show sections of Bangor before the fire. Looking up the Kenduskeag stream, you'll notice the stream was much wider then. In the upper right-hand corner, you can see the steeple and front peak of the roof of our church. In the next picture, you'll see State Street. As you look up the street, the wooden building on the riverside of the bridge, where Bangor Savings Bank stands today, included Bangor Savings Bank, as well as the Bangor Public Library and Historical Society. You'll see that structure again once the fire starts. This next frame shows Central Street. Notice the trolley tracks. We actually had public transportation back then. The greater Bangor area had a robust public transportation system. Our church actually had its own trolley stop right out there on Park Street. Motor cars were still in their infancy. It wasn't until 1908 that Henry Ford introduced his Model T. The trains ran on time and will be part of this story a bit later. Many of the photos of the fire were taken by Leland Whipple, a well-known Bangor photographer. He used a process called lamp lighting to add color to help bring out the sense of urgency in several of his photos. On that fateful day, a small fire started in a hay shed down along the Kenduskeag stream, a block or so from where the parking garage is, kind of more like where the pump house is down there. Notice the men wearing their Sunday best, helping with the hoses. No one expected the fire to take on a life of its own. There were several theories as to what started the fire: guys smoking in or beside the hay shed, or perhaps a spark from the railroad tracks that ran behind the structure. Whatever the cause, a steady wind whipped that burning hay and embers into the air, and soon the fire jumped the Kenduskeag stream to the east side, where other wooden buildings exploded into flames. Our church had yet to catch fire in this picture. Notice the arrow in the upper right-hand corner. You can see the steeple on which our bell tower is located. Some of the first buildings to catch fire were on the banks of the stream where Camden National Bank is currently located. At almost the same time, the wind whipped the burning debris towards our building. Chicken wire, used to keep the pigeons out of the steeples, served as a backstop to catch the flaming embers. And the inside of the flame went down through the steeples into the building. The steeples were wooden. This shot shows the crowds of well-dressed men and women watching Bangor Savings Bank, the public library, with its collection of 70,000 volumes, catch fire. The Bangor Historical Society lost irreplaceable artifacts of Bangor's golden age when it was known as the lumber capital of the world and the Queen City of the East. The telephone exchange soon was ablaze, cutting communications abruptly. Bangor Mayor Charles Mullen raced to his car and drove to the Northern Main Junction in Herman to get out the word by telegraph to fire stations from Portland, Augusta, Waterville, and Lewiston that Bangor needed help. Local fire crews were no match for this growing inferno. At 7 p.m., the fire raged on, lighting up the evening sky as seen from the Kenduskeag. John?
On September 11th, 2001, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were leveled by a terrorist attack. Many people died that day. I believe it was just under 3,000. 14,000 people were brought out alive. 343 New York firefighters died that day. So Bruce Springsteen wrote Into the Fire in tribute to those firefighters. I'm going to perform it, but there's a refrain that repeats a bunch of times that you need to sing along on. I'll sing it once, I'll get you to practice it once, then we'll do the song. So here's the refrain. May your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love. Okay, you guys try it once. May your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love. Okay, you got it. Here's the song. Into the Fire by Bruce Springsteen. Oh, the sky was falling and streaked with blood. I heard you calling me, then you disappeared into the dust. Up the stairs, into the fire. Yeah, up the stairs, into the fire. I need your kiss, but love and duty called you someplace higher. Somewhere upstairs, into the fire. Here you go. May your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love, may your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love. You gave your love to see in fields of red and autumn brown. You gave your love to me and lay your young body down. Up the stairs into the fire. Up the stairs into the fire. I need you near, but love and duty called you someplace higher, somewhere upstairs into the fire. Here's your part. May your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love, may your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope bring us hope, may your love bring us love, may your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope bring us hope, may your love bring us love. It was dark, too dark to see. You held me in the light you gave. lay your hand on me, then walked into the darkness of your smoky grave. Up the stairs, into the fire, yeah, up the stairs, into the fire. I need your kiss, but love and duty called you someplace higher, somewhere upstairs, into the fire. Here you go. May your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love, may your strength give us faith, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love, may your strength give us faith, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love, one more time, may your strength give us strength, may your faith give us faith, may your hope give us hope, may your love bring us love.
I'm seeing myself and the slide. We good? Thank you. Okay, this shot shows a view looking down on Bangor and is entitled Bangor's Conflagration. Dynamite was used within some structures, including this building, in a desperate attempt to create firewalls. It worked fairly well on the west side of the city and stopped the fire before it could reach City Hall on Lower Hammond Street. That building and the courthouse were the only public buildings that remained 10 hours after the fire began its journey. One source reported the winds were so strong that they carried a burning piece of letterhead from the Morse Oliver Company in the heart of the conflagration, 2 miles to the front yard of an Essex Street family. Mercifully, a steady rain began to fall that night, and the last of the embers died about 7 a.m. excuse me, on Monday, May 1st. The morning brought the citizens out to view what was left of downtown. Whether by car or horse or wagon, they came to experience the unimaginable. Hundreds of buildings downtown burned to the ground. 6 churches and the Beth Israel Synagogue were consumed. Notice our building after the fire. You can peer across the street. You'll notice the Tarotine Club building remained unscathed. This view of Franklin Street shows the level of destruction. Gone was Bangor High School in what is now Abbott Square parking lot. Though the principal and several students were able to save 19 typewriters and the school's trophies. Downtown, Franklin Street was the only safe route to cross the Kentuskeg. This view up Exchange Street shows the devastation. Also gone were 2 fire stations, Norumbega Hall, the Custom House, and more. The fire spread from downtown up Center Street Hill, which is that street right over there, up Center Street Hill on the west side of the church, and raged all the way to Broadway. Bangor resident Ethel Rowe, in a letter she wrote to her sister in California, described the scene she witnessed upon returning to the city from a pleasant day motoring around eastern Maine. She says, "It was so light when we got to the Tin Bridge near the town line from Bangor to Hamden that we didn't need the headlights. And when we struck there, the flames looked miles high in front of us. And you can imagine the feelings when we got in sight of the Universalist Church and saw it, a mass of flames." She goes on to say Lower Exchange Street was untouched. And we soon got onto Broadway and there found the first church, all in ruins. French Street was the worst of all. Just a roaring mass, and of course, all streets swept clean, not a house left. She continues by describing dynamiting going on all afternoon the following day, and ended her letter by describing to her sister that she couldn't get much sleep. I can see that terrible glare every time I close my eyes. It is said the glow could be seen in the sky all the way to Belfast. Reverend Ashley Smith, who resided on French Street, risked his own safety as the fire started, racing into the sanctuary to rescue the church's Bible. Fearing the worst, he buried it in his backyard. Now that Bible is the one that's right out there in the vestibule. This is a view of Reverend Smith's French Street neighborhood after the fire. His home was consumed, destroying his personal library of over 1,200 volumes. The Bible was saved and was safely returned to the church after it was rebuilt a little over a year later. Note the inscription inside the front cover tells the faithful tale. That Bible resides to this day in that vestibule, the little room that you come in before you enter the sanctuary. The inscription reads, "The Bible, which has been in service more than 50 years, was saved from the conflagration on April 30th, 1911, by the pastor, Reverend Ashley A. Smith, and taken to his home residence at 290 French Street. Then, shortly afterwards, his home was burned. It was buried by him in the backyard, the Bible, not the house. It was burned in the backyard, buried in the backyard, in the garden, in the rear of the house, and restored to the pulpit of the new Universalist Church, September 29th, 1912. The building was just a shell, with the 4 outer walls still standing. The picture shows a wall or 2 missing. The women of the church lost no time raising funds for the society. They held a 2-day fair in November in Bangor's City Hall. The net proceeds totaled $2,000. That was in 1911 dollar value. The church's Floral and Aid Society raised the money to pay the interest on the loans to rebuild. In fact, the women's organizations did their share and more in bringing the church out of debt. Following the rededication of the building, this depicts what the building looked like. Notice the bells in the tower, and no Dorothy Memorial Hall yet. It was the dedication of our forebears that rebuilt the beautiful building we have today. The fire of commitment lives on in each of us. And John, before you start, that wall is the original wall. The other walls had to be taken down because they were not safe. One actually blew down from the wind that they experienced the next day. So, the windows were installed later, and that's a story for another day. The closing hymn is Fire of Commitment.